tackle at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
Big Mel Turpin, the rookie, jumping here against Moses Malone. The ball in the air, and the tip won by the 76ers. The Cavaliers have styled their team around that rookie center Turpin, so keep an eye on him, number 54. 76ers expected to use more motion in their offense this year. It goes down to Malone, who misses, but an offensive rebound by Ivoroni. Tied up in the corner, but he gets it out to Cheeks. Mo was used sparingly in preseason games this year. Tipped around but controlled by Tony. Clock not reset. Julius makes a drive and he travels. So now the Cavaliers get the ball offensively for the first time. Jeff Cook to feed it in. World B. Free, number 21, expected to do a lot more passing this year, although he'll get his points. Here's Bagley with the ball, getting it off to Free, and needless to say, he gets the first shot away, but it doesn't go. And a loose ball foul spotted underneath by Eddie Middleton.
Well, I think he's going to get, World B. Free is going to get a couple of games where he doesn't have to be so concerned about passing, because there's not a lot of point production out on that floor right now, so he's going to have to generate most of it for Cleveland. Look for him to shoot a lot now.
The rookie Ron Anderson to feed it in. He played at Fresno State, a second-round draft choice by the Cavaliers. Gets it to Turpin, so they're starting two rookies tonight. The Sixers with two on their squad. They'll both come off the bench. They are healthy and will play tonight, though, so keep an eye out for Barkley and Wood. Anderson moves on Doc. Can't get the shot away. Here's Bagley. Goes behind a screen to get free of Andrew Toney and gets the shot away. Bagley scores. So the Cavaliers draw first and lead it 2-0. Ivoroni couldn't get the shot off. In for Andrew Toney. Andrew averaged 11 during preseason games, and he scores first for Philadelphia.
First time down, the 76ers really saw a bunch of orange shirts clogging the middle, and this time Andrew tried to loosen them up. Here's Turpin.
Turpin's first shot will not go, and Moses has the rebound. Out the Doc. Sixers, of course, still with a running offense when they have the chance. They lose the ball. Picked up by Free. Bagley sees chance to go into the middle, and he's fouled as he heads down the middle. Billy Cunningham screaming on the call. Toney called on the foul. Well, it didn't take Billy long to get off the bench, did it?
John Bagley on the foul line. This is his third season in the NBA. He really struggled as a rookie out of Boston College. Came on a little bit towards the end of last season. He's really improved his defense, and on that alone has won a starting job.
And the Cavaliers have improved their guard line. They now have Johnny Davis among their number, and Davis will play some tonight. Cavaliers 3, 76ers 2. Opening night in the NBA. A lot of teams will be in action tonight, many more tomorrow night, and by the end of tomorrow, all 23 teams in the league will have played. Here's a block underneath by Cook, but the whistle sounds and Cook draws the foul. That's the first foul on Cleveland.
Cleveland has assigned Jeff Cook to guard Moses Malone, and they're putting their center, Mel Turpin, on Mark Ivoroni. They're apparently going to do that until such time as Turpin can demonstrate that he's really confident playing defense against the premier centers.
I would gather, too, Jim, that they want to keep him out of foul trouble. You know how these rookies tend to pick up fouls quicker than anybody else. It certainly was a problem for Barkley in the preseason game. Cheeks played very little, as we mentioned, in the preseason. In fact, he shot only 63% from the foul line. His free throw ties the game. Anderson has it knocked away by Toney, regains control and scores. That was a nice play by the youngster. Anderson had a good preseason for the Cavaliers. He scored 11 points a game. And we're going to have a foul here on Bagley. Second team foul on the Cavaliers. Jim, you and I were talking about the new rules in the NBA this year. There isn't really too much of significance, except that during the final minute of play of each quarter, they're going to treat the clock the same way they do in the last 2 minutes of the game. That is, it'll run only when the ball is actually in play. Here's a basket by Anderson.
Now, one thing the 76ers haven't done so far is exploit Anderson on the other end. He is guarding Julius Erving, and that should prove to be a tough assignment.
That's right, and Doc has actually turned the ball over a couple of times so far. Here's Cheeks, he's double-teamed. Erving with a straightaway jump shot off target. Moses fights for the rebound, but loses it to Free. 7-3, the Cavaliers lead the game. Turpin, fallback jumper is good, and the Cavaliers are up by 6, 9-3. Billy Cunningham reluctant to call an early timeout, but trying to steady the club and say, come on, let's get into the offense here.
Yep, Sixers just haven't gotten the flow yet offensively.
Cheeks gives it off to Doc. He was wide open, but was looking for somebody inside. Tony's pass was batted but controlled, and now Tony gets the shot in and around, no good. Sixers just not hitting shots right now. And the Cavaliers pick up their third team foul. Cook gets called on the personal, his second. The Cavaliers were last in the Central Division last year, hoping to improve on that under the youngest coach in the NBA, George Karl. Just hung a little bit short by Malone. That's happened a few times tonight. Cheeks picks up 3. Ivoroni to double team. Bagley cross court for the shot by Cook. It's short. And Moses does his thing. He was the rebounding leader in the NBA last year. Tony fires it up and good. Andrew with his second field goal. Cavaliers 9, Sixers 5 in the early moments. The Sixers beat the Cavaliers 4 out of 6 a year ago, including all 3 here in the Spectrum. Ball knocked free, Sixers coming up with it. That's the Cavaliers' first turnover of the night. Cheeks moves in on 3, makes the pass inside to Malone, score that one.
Now the 76ers have 2 big offensive advantages. There was obviously one. There's also one where Irving is going up against the rookie Anderson, and Philadelphia finally got the ball in good position to Moses that time.
Anderson flips inside to Turpin, and he travels. Mel took that big extra step, so the Kentucky youngster probably with a few butterflies as he plays his first game here tonight. Ben Coquette is going to be the first sub off the bench for Cleveland. See him shortly. Ivoroni lobs inside to Doc, and Julius just a little off on his timing, but Moses recovers and scores. And the Sixers have come from 6 points down to tie it at 9. Sixers have scored 6 straight. Tony guarding Bagley. Pass comes off to Turpin. He's a pretty good long-range shooter, as you can see there. His second field goal.
Yeah, Kentucky had Sam Bowie and Turpin last year, both of them in the 6'10 range, and both of them can shoot the jump shot.
Another alley-oop. This ball knocked away by Turpin, and the whistle sounds. We're going to have a foul and a timeout called by the 76ers. We have 6:51 left to play here in the opening quarter. Cavaliers lead it 11-9.
This portion of Raptors NBA TV is brought to you by American Express Small Business Solutions.
Man, you were in the zone today. You had a game like Chris Bosh.
Can you imagine playing a game with Bosh?
Check this out. Maybe we can.
Team CB4 with seconds left for the championship.
It all comes down to one last shot.
Juicy Fruit is giving you and 3 friends a chance to shoot hoops with Raptors All-Star Chris Bosh in Toronto. Enter at jf4on4.ca.
Who's got next game?
Slow down! Slow down! What's the hurry? You're driving like a maniac! Are you listening? Are you listening? I can't stand it when you ignore me. This wind is mussing up my hair. Oh, don't give me that look. Watch the road! Great. Now look what you've done. I told you not to drive so...
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
11-9 the score here. 6:51 left to go in quarter number 1. We're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers. And their coach, George Karl, only 33 years of age, the youngest coach in the NBA, a disciple of Dean Smith in North Carolina, where he played his college ball. And he also was an assistant coach at San Antonio under another North Carolina star, Doug Moe. You know about Doug Moe, he just wants to get the ball and go, and there's a lot of that in George Karl, but right now he's a little bit limited with the personnel to be able to do that as effectively as the Denver Nuggets do.
Ben Poquette is in the ball game for Cleveland. He wears number 50. He's in the middle now. Turpin is still in there. Here's a loud pass down low for Tony. Head fake, and Tony nearly got tangled up in the lane. Andrew could not get the shot away. 5 on the timer. Here goes Doc to work. A little off on the touch, and the Sixers 4 out of 11 in shooting right now. Cavaliers lead at 11-9. Free gets in the air and gives it up to Turpin. Here's Poquette. Gentle Ben, they call him. Whirl B drives on Cheeks. A twist around shot with a lot of hang time. Offensive rebound. Poquette can't find the spot. Poquette again. This time we've got a loose ball foul. Eddie Middleton, who makes the call, by the way, wants to send his regards to Tony Romano, a good friend of his who is recovering from a serious foot injury.
And Blaine Reichelt, the second official tonight.
Moses Malone calling the personal foul, his first. Sixers with 3 team fouls. The Cavaliers have 4. We are halfway through the opening quarter of the 84-85 season here at the Spectrum.
We're going to get a look at Charles Barkley ever so quickly here. He's winding from his warm-up attire.
Bagley puts it up. Wrong spot. Neither team really burning it right now as far as shooting is concerned. A lot of passes are being tipped like that one right there. Tony tries to get it to Ivoroni. Mark recovers. Ivoroni fakes Turpin, then goes by him. Malone off balance, but he gets it in. That's the blue-collar job that Moses has called on to do so many times.
The extra pass paid off there, but the Cavaliers are very much into this game defensively right now. They're contesting every pass, every movement.
Score is tied at 11. Turpin guarded by Ivoroni on the floor. Back out to Turpin for the jumper. This one off target. Malone with another rebound. Moses doing a good job on the boards. A chance to run right here, but Cheeks' pass is tipped out of bounds. Sixers will keep it. And Charles Barkley makes his NBA debut. Here's Barkley out of Auburn, the 5th player taken in the draft this year.
Now, he's got a very tender ankle. We may not see him going at full speed, but he'll really surprise you with his quickness and speed.
Tony's baseline shot is good. 3rd field goal for Andrew, and the Sixers have taken their first lead of the night. 13-11 Philadelphia.
Barkley going up against Ben Poquette, where he's giving away about 4.5 inches.
And the ball comes to Bagley. They tried to feed Poquette. Tipped out of bounds. Cheeks got a hand on it. Now Johnny Davis, number 16, will play his first game for Cleveland. Davis out of Dayton has been around the NBA quite a bit by now. He was acquired from Atlanta. The 2 players that the Cavaliers sent to Atlanta didn't make the Hawks team. Ben Poquette fires it in. The first field goal by Poquette. I hear Zink calling him Poquet. I always thought he was Poquette.
So does he.
Maybe he had an off-season name change. We've got a foul here on Ben. And that'll put the Cavaliers in the penalty. 4:19 left to go in the quarter. Moses Malone to the free throw line. In the preseason, Moses hit 75% of his fouls. The crowd warming to the fact that Bobby Jones has gone to midcourt and will enter the floor shortly. Bobby, who again last year made the all-defensive team in the NBA. Moses with 8 points now. Sixers lead 15-13. Here's Johnny Davis getting a backcourt pick by Poquette. Davis played some ball under Jack Ramsey at Portland. And he's a very steady player.
He had a career high here last year while playing for Atlanta, had 26 points against the Sixers.
And we're going to get traveling here on Ron Anderson. The Cavaliers want to get Jeff Cook back in the game, but he was not waved in during that timeout. So he remains at midcourt, and the Cavs go as they are. Tony and Cheeks on the Philadelphia back line. Moses Malone at forward, at center, I should say, and two new forwards now, Bobby Jones and Charles Barkley. Billy Cunningham said that he thought the Sixers gave away too much ground in the second quarter last year. Here's a foul on Turpin.
Barkley has all kinds of offensive moves. That time he stepped on the end line before he got the shot off, but what he did with Turpin was he went up right-handed and then pumped a left-handed jump shot up.
So no foul on Turpin, and it remains 15-13. 3.5 minutes left to go in the quarter. Pass into Poquette for a fallback jumper. It's short, rebounded by Malone. Tony moves it up, gets by his man, can't find anybody open. Cheeks puts it up. Good. Maurice gets his first field goal, and the Sixers lead by 4. 17-13. Cavaliers want to get Phil Hubbard into the game. He is their sixth man, so to speak, although obviously he did not fill that role tonight. Poquette can't muscle it in. Malone with yet another rebound. He must have half a dozen here in the period. We've got him with 5 unofficially.
This is an offensive foul call as the Cavaliers are going to call a timeout here, make a couple of substitutions as well.
So 2:53 left to go in the first quarter with the score, Sixers 17 and Cleveland 13.
Only one man.
Oh my God.
Can make people do this.
This is Andy.
And this.
What? You don't burn your nails with that one.
And this.
What sick human being came up with something like this?
What's up? I'm Bruno.
I love your hat. It's great.
The star of Borat.
Oh.
He's at it again.
Salute with your right hand. That's not a salute.
What's G? It's gifted. Genuine. Golden. It's the GOAT. The greatest of all time. What's G? It is the heart, hustle, and soul of the game. That's G.
Pride, attitude, style. It's all in the jersey. You can wear what the pros wear. Take a stance. Visit Center Sports and customize your Raptors jersey. Best team selection. Official team merchandise. Newest Raptors gear. Center Sports, your only destination for all your authentic official Raptors merchandise. Located at Air Canada Center, Gate 1.
Tournament poker is about patience, stamina, and mental focus. Until eventually, your head's up, and there's just one more opponent left to beat. Ready for tournament poker at the world's largest poker site, PokerStars.net.
George Karl, I remember him as a player. He was one of those nasty little guys that always was in your hair. Battling, scrapping, diving for loose balls.
Spent a lot of time in the ABA. Lineup change for Philadelphia now. Maurice Cheeks is back in. And Robert Smith is in the Cleveland lineup. He's their little ball handler. Loose ball picked up by Sedale Threed, who's getting his first playing time of the game. Barkley dancing inside, gives it up. Here's Malone, and Ben Poquette took the challenge and fouled him. That was a courageous move on the part of Poquette, but he just drew too much contact.
Barkley looked like he may have traveled there, but he did such a good job of shielding the ball from us. We missed the whole dribble. Of course, he can shield about 2 players from you if he gets in the right position. Moses Malone to the line.
And he already has 7 rebounds, we've been informed. It's 17-13. We have 2:35 left in the first quarter, and Moses unsuccessful on both. And there's going to be a jump ball. The Cavaliers had it, but Barkley stepped in when Cook and Poquette couldn't figure out who was supposed to get it, and so they're going to jump it. Barkley and Ben Poquette are going to jump. Eddie Middleton to put it up. I think he gave Philadelphia a pretty good pass that time. Barkley got way up and tipped it. Malone. Moses hits double figures. First player in the game to do so. And the Sixers lead at 19-13. Hubbard out top to Robert Smith, the most well-traveled player we have here tonight. And we've got an offensive foul on Cleveland.
Bobby Jones with those long arms had good position, and Phil Hubbard tried to swing his way clear, and he's called for the personal foul.
Inside the 2-minute mark with the Sixers leading by 6 points after they were down by 6. Cheeks moves on Smith. Breed gives it up. Cheeks has the shot. And a rebound to number 10, Robert Smith, out of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Smith misses, followed up and good by Cook. Cook scores for the first time, and it's 19-15, 76ers. Last year on opening night, the Sixers played the Washington Bullets. Here's another foul on Poquette. Gentle Ben has proved not to live up to his nickname inside so far. Poquette has drawn his third foul.
Well, Charles Barkley and Moses Malone in a double post that time, and what that does is kind of enable Moses, if the ball is moved crisply enough, to get that one-on-one matchup, and he certainly got it there and took advantage, drew the foul, almost made a three-point play.
Well, this time Moses recovers to make them both. He has a dozen points. Sixers lead at 21-15. Smith guarded by Freed as he moves it up. Davis lobs it inside. Hubbard makes a twist and a turn, puts it up. It's good, but it doesn't count. He travels. 5 turnovers in the period on Cleveland. Here's Campy Russell coming into the game for the Cavaliers. He was with them for 6 years early in his career. Has not played the last 2 years because of a knee injury. Number 4, Campy Russell. Barkley saves it in. And Cook is called for a foul inside, and he is very unhappy. That's the third foul on Cook.
Yeah, if he gets in trouble, that really messes up the rotation for the Cavaliers, because as we pointed out, Lonnie Shelton not available tonight. He's on injured reserve, as is 6'6" Paul Thompson, and their other big guy up front, Roy Hinson. They're going to try not to play him. He's got a hamstring problem. Hinson played a lot of center last year for them. They don't want him to play at all this year at center, just forward.
Moses now with 14 points in the quarter, which has a minute to go. 23-8 the 76ers. 23-15, an 8-point lead, I should say. Johnny Davis gets it away, but he's short with it, and Malone has another rebound. It's been a big period for Moses, scoring and rebounding. Bobby Jones on a floater that won't go, and the Cavaliers come out with it. Here comes Hubbard. 30 seconds left in the period. Johnny Davis. First basket for Davis, who had a good preseason, averaging 16 points a game as he got used to his new teammates. Now the Sixers are going to try to hold for the last shot. There's a difference of 3 seconds between the timers. Cheeks out high, winding down some time. Sedale Freet gets it off. Followed up, and Moses couldn't get it to go. 2 seconds, 1 second. Campy Russell from midcourt, no good, and the first quarter has come to a close. At the end of one period tonight, the 76ers 23 and the Cavaliers 17.
I just want to check something.
Remember, these people always want to give you advice. My advice to you is don't take advice from anybody.
Sir, if I could give you a little advice, I found a way to save you $6 a month.
Don't you try to give me any advice.
Take the advice.
helpful advice from TD Canada Trust. It's how we're making banking more comfortable.
Slow down! Slow down! What's the hurry? You're driving like a maniac! Are you listening? Are you listening? I can't stand it when you ignore me. This wind is mussing up my hair. Oh, don't give me that look. Watch the road! Great. Now look what you've done. I told you not to drive so...
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Man, you were in the zone today. You had a game like Chris Bosh.
Can you imagine playing a game with Bosch?
Check this out. Maybe we can.
Team CB4 with seconds left for the championship.
It all comes down to one last shot.
Juicy Fruit is giving you and 3 friends a chance to shoot hoops with Raptors All-Star Chris Bosh in Toronto. Enter at jf4on4.ca.
Who's got next game?
Before Noel Coward. After Noel Coward. Noel Coward changes people. Visit the Shaw Festival and see tonight at 8:30 Noel Coward's glittering collection of 10 one-act plays.
And here it's 23 for the 76ers and 17 for the Cleveland Cavaliers as we get set to start the second quarter on this opening night of NBA basketball, 1984-85. And remember that Prism will be bringing you the entire home schedule of the 76ers this season, 41 games plus selected playoffs.
Jim, this is the quarter that Billy Cunningham was critical of last year. He thought in the second quarter the 76ers gave away too much, and he felt that maybe some of it was his fault for not having the proper people on the floor, and he's going to be careful of that this year. Turnaround by Turpin is no good. Johnny Davis, he can't get it. Turpin battles for it. And finally, the Cavaliers control it as Hubbard comes up with it. Robert Smith, and he misses a shot. Turpin finally puts it in. What a battle for the Cavaliers. They finally scored.
Boy, Cleveland has long needed a big guy in the middle to do just that, to give them second and third opportunities, because they have been a jump shooting team for years. Once and done, it either went in or was rebounded by the opposition. Now they have a chance to have follow-up shots.
You know, it's ironic because they probably don't have very good outside shooting right now, with the exception of Free. Malone, no good, and rebounded by Hubbard. Floats it on out to Robert Smith. Turpin, he's short with it, rebounded by Bobby Jones. Here's a chance to run. Three, threading the pass to Cheeks, and there's the first fast break layup tonight.
The Cavaliers have been doing a good job preventing that, but that time Mo Cheeks just turned it on full speed, ran right by the backcourt men, Johnny Davis and this man here, Houston.
The Sixers in the opening quarter did not get any scoring out of their starting forecourt. Julius Erving and Mark Ivoroni being blank. Lock shot, and the Sixers wind up with it. And here is the wide Barkley. They say he has the body of Wes Unseld. And Sadeo Freed whistles one in. And the Sixers lead by 8.
One thing Charles did there that's a real good sign, he stayed under control, and the break wasn't there, and he kind of waited patiently and made a nice pass. In the early moments of preseason, he was trying to impress everybody, and he was making that strong move to the hoop, and he didn't really have it.
Nearly stolen by Cheeks. And a travel on Campy Russell. Clement Johnson is coming in for the 76ers. As you check out George Karl. Also returning for the Sixers, Julius Erving. Ron Anderson is back in for Cleveland. He wears number 25. Bobby Jones. Barkley going to work. Can't quite get it. Hubbard with the rebound, and he nearly left his feet. 27-19, the 76ers. Early moments of the second quarter. Johnny Davis puts it up. Hubbard has it knocked away, recovered by Erving. 2 Sixers up front. Cheeks on a breakaway. And And the Sixers take a double-figure lead. And Cleveland will call timeout. 9:11 left to go in the third quarter, and a couple of fast break baskets have powered the Sixers to a 29-19 advantage.
Toronto Raptor Andrea Bargnani's pre-game ritual. He stretches, he warms up, and then he has his pre-game meal. What meal is it tonight? Penne pasta consisting of only the finest Italian ingredients. Bringing Italy to your home. Buon Italia. Look for these authentic Italian products at your local grocery store.
You work hard. You haven't taken chances. You've done everything right. And still you're feeling the pinch. Not sure what to do? Stick to the fundamentals. Grow your savings. With ING Direct, every dollar you save, whatever the amount, will grow with high interest and never shrink with fees and service charges. Your money will be safe, but working hard, just like you. Call. Save your money.
If you're on the asphalt, on the regular course, in the sun, or in the shade, I mean, you're going to compete your hardest. It could be 9-9 for half an hour, and you'll be spending, you know, the rest of the time trying to get 1 point. You got to have somebody fast, somebody that can pass and shoot, and then you got to have, like, a little finesse guy. I've got my team. You got yours?
NBA 3-on-3, presented by Rogers, brought to you by Speed Stick.
Some people said the 76ers did not have the killer instinct. A lot of times they jumped out to leads, lost it, and then really had to battle to win some ball games. Now let's see, they've got a 10-point lead here. Let's see if they can work it out so they can coast a little bit in this game tonight instead of coming down close toward the stretch. But everybody knows you can't win an NBA game in the first half. Just can't be done. Anderson just back into the ball game, gets it off and whistles one in. Ron Anderson from Fresno State with his 6th point. A delay of the game warning against Cleveland. You can't tap the ball away after it goes through the hoop, preventing the other team from getting off to a quick start. The first one is a warning, the second one is a technical foul. Away, but recovered by Clement Johnson. His shot won't fall. Clement fights for it, goes up again, and this time we've got a foul, and it's probably on Turpin.
Man, there was a lot of up and down going on as Barkley, Johnson, Turpin, and Hubbard were all battling for that basketball in there.
Neither team shot very well in the first quarter tonight. The Sixers at 42%, the Cavs at 40%. Sixers won the boards 15-12, thanks mainly to a great period by Moses Malone. Moses had 9 rebounds in the quarter. Clement Johnson 1 out of 2. Sixers lead by 9, 30-21. Johnny Davis has it on the floor, and he is guarded by Leon Wood, who is into the lineup for the Sixers. Davis puts a move on Wood, goes to the hoop. We've got a foul underneath. He got by Wood all right, but then met pressure underneath.
Johnny Davis may be among the 2 or 3 fastest players with a basketball in the NBA. He goes by a lot of people. Of course, the first time you see him on defense, you're certainly greeted with quite a surprise. He's got amazing quickness.
Now the Sixers going with a very young guard line. Wood will be at one guard, Freet at the other guard. Last foul was on Clement Johnson. Davis, a good free throw shooter, 82% in the preseason, and 82% for his career. Cavaliers fight back a bit. They're down by 7. It's 30-23. So the 76ers making good use of their bench right now. Julius Erving, the only starter on the floor at this moment. Wood, he fires it in from long distance. Leon Wood hits one. He was the 10th player taken in the NBA draft. The Sixers with 2 first-round choices making the team. Turpin off target, but rebounded by the Cavaliers. Hubbard is tied up, and he throws it over Davis's head. It'll be Philadelphia ball as the Cavaliers turn it over for the 7th time. Jeff Cook is coming back for Cleveland. He picked up 3 fouls in a quick stint earlier in the ball game, and he's back in for another try. He's in for Hubbard. Here is Wood, who made such an impression on the U.S. Olympic team this year. 3 in the lane. That's a good shot. And a loose ball foul has been called, and it will go against the 76ers. Clement Johnson on the foul. Incidentally, that's Clement's first. The last foul at the other one we said was on Clement was actually on Barkley. So they each have 1 personal. And here's a foul on Freet. Sedale drawing his first, but it's the 13th foul on the 76ers. World B. Free is checking back in for Cleveland. He'll replace Johnny Davis. Would you believe Free has not yet scored tonight?
Well, you know what? The Cavaliers are in a learning process. You can see it out there where they're all trying to learn a lot about each other, and they're going to take a long time, maybe a month or 2 before they're really the team that they want to be, I think, whereas the Sixers have that great advantage. They know who they are, and they know what they want to be.
Well, that's especially true with guys like Lonnie Shelton and Paul Thompson not available because of injury. That'll slow them down even more. And we've got traveling. The rookie Ron Anderson turns it over, and the turnover column is 8-3 with the Cavaliers having the higher number. The Sixers have not turned it over here in the second quarter at all, and we're almost halfway through this period. Sixers playing both their rookies now, Barkley and Wood. Freet. A running one-hander by Sedale, and it's 34-23, the 76ers with their largest lead.
Little delay of the game warning here. The ball bounced away with a little help from the Sixers. Not that the Cavs are going to move it up the court that quickly anyway. But
it's amazing. Guys just can't seem to avoid doing that. You see that call all the time. Back outside for a Cook jumper that's off target. Free fights for the rebound, but loses to Barkley. Wood makes the pass. It was kicked. An inadvertent kick, and that's why the timer is not reset. If you stick your foot out intentionally, they blow the whistle and they reset to 24, and apparently that's what they are doing here too. We've got a 20-second timeout called by the 76ers. 20 seconds.
As I pointed out, as George Karl now comes out on the floor to meet the Cavaliers on this 20-second timeout, you can see that they're really going through a learning process. They have a whole new offense that they're trying to implement, and they're kind of thinking out there rather than doing things spontaneously and naturally. They're trying to go by the numbers. We're seeing a lot of long jump shots by their big people, Turpin and Cook, which really puts them in a rebounding bind when those 2 guys are out taking 25 and 30 footers.
Barkley will inbound under the 76er basket halfway through the second quarter of play. Leon Wood, he's a good ball handler. Here's Doc. Off the three. Gets it back, and there's a jam job by Barkley, and the crowd turned on by that one.
Well, they're not paying a lot of attention to Sedale Freet, the Cleveland Cavaliers are not, and he's making the nice pass and setting up plays like that. Here's a shot here by Anderson.
And Anderson quickly has 8 points in his total right now. 36-25 Philadelphia. Sixers have not had a whole lot of chance to run tonight. I believe they have only 2 fast break baskets. Julius Erving in and out. That first one is proving tough for Doc, but right there is Clement Johnson. Erving is still scoreless in the game.
This has to be a big rebounding edge here in the first half for Philadelphia, with Malone and now Johnson and Barkley getting some second opportunities.
Bagley gets it off to Free. He feeds inside. And they're swinging it around nicely. In old times, if Free might have taken that shot. Jeff Cook gets his to fall. That's the second field goal for Cook. 38-27 Philadelphia. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Johnson recovers. Clement out to Wood. Leon shoots on the run. Tough shot. And it comes out to Worrell B. Bagley at midcourt. 3-on-2 Cleveland. And a basket for Anderson. 10 points for Anderson. He is the Cavaliers' top scorer. He was in their starting lineup tonight as one of 2 rookies in their lineup. And it's 38-29 as the Cavaliers struggle to stay close as we approach halftime. Wood to Barkley. Freak gets it down low to Clem Johnson, stalling Malone. Has Moses been in there in the second quarter? I don't think so. I think he's had the whole period off.
Sedale 3.
6 points for Sedale and an 11-point Philadelphia advantage. Well, that's quite a comfort factor when you can rest your starting center for the entire second quarter. He might be in there yet, but we only have 4 minutes to go. Blaine Reichelt spots a foul, and he is motioning Ben Croquette, Johnny Davis, and Bobby Jones back into the game. Charles Barkley leaving the Sixer lineup as you see Free coming to the Cleveland bench. Barkley drew that foul, his second, just before leaving. Cook is off target. Loose ball foul underneath. It'll go against Poquette. That'll be number 4 on Poquette. Andrew Toney checks back in for the Sixers. And Sedale Freed, who had a good quarter, goes to the bench. Sedale had 3 field goals. Phil Hubbard back in for Cleveland. Poquette out. Almost have to take him out with 4 fouls. So now it's Wood and Toney on the guard line for Philadelphia. Clem Johnson continues at center. Here's a steal. Johnny Davis picks it off and scores. 40-31 Philadelphia. Sixers playing Julius Erving and Bobby Jones in the forecourt right now. Toney in pressure. Clem Johnson short and rebounded out by Cook. Davis with a pull-up shot. He was fouled. Clement Johnson draws his second foul. George Karl, the Cleveland coach, was their player personnel director prior to this year. The Cavaliers under new ownership this season. Ownership which pledges to keep the team in Cleveland for a long time. Davis makes the first, misses number 2. Rebound to Clem Johnson. Philadelphia by 8 as the Sixers bring it up. Julius underneath, and there's number 1. Julius Erving gets his first field goal. Bagley off inside for a try by Anderson. We've got a whistle. And Moses Malone is going to see action in the quarter. He's going to come in right now. A loose ball foul has been spotted, and I believe it's on Clem Johnson. That's number 3 on Clement. Sixers calling time here. Timeout, 2:54 remaining in the first half, and the Sixers lead it by 10 points.
Rule number 32, live the dream.
Find out how at budcamp.ca. Must be 19 or older. No purchase necessary.
Slow down! Slow down! Hurry! You're driving like a maniac! Are you listening? Are you listening? I can't stand it when you ignore me. This wind is mussing up my hair. Oh, don't give me that look. Watch the road! Great. Now look what you've done. I told you not to drive so...
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Pride, attitude, style. It's all in the jersey. You can wear what the pros wear. Take a stance. Visit Center Sports and customize your Raptors jersey. Best team selection. Official team merchandise. Newest Raptors gear. Center Sports, your only destination for all your authentic official Raptors merchandise. Located at Air Canada Center, Gate 1.
Tournament poker is about patience, stamina, and mental focus. Until eventually, your head's up, and there's just one more opponent left to beat. Ready for tournament poker at the world's largest poker site, PokerStars.net.
We played almost 20 minutes of basketball in this first half before we saw Julius Erving hit on a bucket here. Inside, Jeff Cook has foul problems, so he shies away, and the Doc is able to make that easy layup. The big people for the Cavaliers, Poquet and Cook, are in some foul difficulty right now, and their bench already very thin due to injury, so the Sixers would do very well by taking advantage of some defensive problems that the Cavaliers are having inside.
In the foul situation, the Sixers are in the penalty right now. The Cavaliers have drawn only 2 team fouls. 76ers in the lead. Julius gives to Bobby Jones, who drives and scores. Bobby gets his first field goal of the game. Bobby playing with a bad knee. Actually, it's not so much of a problem tonight as it's liable to be tomorrow night when the Sixers have a date in Atlanta. It's tough for Bobby to play back-to-back games effectively. I guess that comes with age, Barnes. Inside in a basket by Milwaukee Hubbard.
You got to do a game tomorrow night. You going to be ready?
Well, I don't know. I'm getting up there, too. No, I'll be ready. The Sixers will be in Atlanta tomorrow night. And the Hawks have a different look this year, including Leo Routens among their cast. Illegal defense has been called against the 76ers. It was called on Cheeks. And Mo puts up a mild protest. The first one is a warning. The second one a technical foul on the illegal D. Bagley gets it into the corner, gets it back. Here's a Bagley try. It is around and good. John Bagley out of Boston College, the Cavs' first draft choice a year ago. Well, they've done a good job of hanging in here. They were down by 13 and they've halved it. It's 44-38. Minute 35 from halftime. Moses was posted up, couldn't get the ball to him. Turpin was all over him. They have Turpin on him now. They did not earlier in the game. Cheeks wide open. And Mo is perfect. He had daylight for the shot and 9 points in the game. Fast break try by the Cavaliers. It's good for Anderson, and he's fouled.
Ron Anderson just looks like one of those guys that's a scorer as opposed to a shooter. He's just always around the basketball, and he seems to get a lot of garbage stuff and layups. He runs the court well. And a guy that kind of sneakily piles up the points on you.
Irving picked up his first personal foul. Cavaliers failed to take advantage of it. They had a chance to pick up the extra point. Andrew Toney lets it fly too long. And a rebound by Turpin. Feed it out to Hubbard at midcourt. Minute left in the first half. That's going to be a blocking foul. Hubbard apparently caught Bobby Jones in a move. You've got to have your feet planted on a play like that. Let's see it, Barnes.
Here we go. There's Bobby sliding. See, his right foot was still sliding into position, so a good call.
That was Bagley making the drive, and he goes to the free throw line.
Ed Middleton made that call and was right on top of it.
It's 46-43. The Sixers losing 10 points off their 13-point margin. Tony has it blocked, but there's a foul. That'll be the first foul of the last 2 minutes on Cleveland. Hubbard draws the personal foul. That's his second. Andrew Toney gets the free throws, and Toney was a good one at the line a year ago. And Andrews 78% for his career, 83% in the preseason this year. In the preseason, the Sixers won 4, lost 3, had one game called off due to a slippery floor. Toney gets his 7th point of the night. It's 47-43 Sixers, and 48 seconds left in the half. Hubbard almost got away from him. Hubbard gets the shot good. Bill Hubbard out of Michigan, a player drafted as a junior eligible by the Detroit Pistons back in '79.
Well, you know, this is another one of those blah second quarters where the Sixers have allowed the Cavaliers to get right back in this game. They lead but by 2 points with 20 seconds left to go here.
That's amazing. Sixers working the clock a little bit here, trying to get off a good shot. Andrew Toney double team, finds Cheeks open, 2 seconds, 1 second layup with 9 seconds left on the clock. 49-45, 20-second timeout for the Cavaliers. They will be able to set something up here now with 9 seconds to go, but certainly George Karl has to be pleased with this quarter.
He's a little bit disappointed now with Mel Turpin. Mel had to, it was his job to not let such penetration by Bo Cheeks take place with that much time on the shot clock winding down, and he's giving a little lesson in defense here, how you're supposed to slide over there and cut that stuff off. You're allowed 1 20-second timeout per half, and Karl, of course, had not used his, and with 9 seconds left, he can make that adjustment and also set up a play here.
That's right, you can't save them, so you may as well go ahead and use it. Eddie Badger, the assistant coach of the Boston Celtics, is here scouting the game tonight. Sixers and the Celtics first meet on November 9th this year in Boston. Johnny Davis in the lane, short, rebounded by Cheeks, 1 second to go. He does not get the shot away. He got it close too, but it didn't count anyway. Well, it was a good first quarter for the 76ers. Second quarter favored the Cavaliers, and at halftime, the Sixers lead the ball game 49-45.
That's right. It's been a kind of a game of spurts. The Cleveland Cavaliers came out, grabbed themselves a 6- and 5-point lead early in the game. The 76ers took a 23-17 lead after the first quarter. And then going to the bench, the 76ers widened that lead, got ahead by 10. But Cleveland has come back and trailed now by the score of 49-45. A good effort by the Cavaliers, who are shorthanded tonight. They are missing starting forwards Roy Hinson and Lonnie Shelton, but doing a fine job. They got an excellent first half out of rookies Mel Turpin and Ron Anderson. And once again, the score here at halftime, the Sixers 49 and the Cleveland Cavaliers 45.
I just want to check something.
Remember, these people always want to give you advice. My advice to you is don't take advice from anybody.
Sir, if I could give you a little advice, I found a way to save you $6 a month.
Don't you try to give me any advice.
That's the advice.
Helpful advice from TD Canada Trust. It's how we're making banking more comfortable.
What's cheap is gifted. Genuine. Golden. It's the GOAT. The greatest of all time. What's cheap It is the heart, hustle, and soul of the game. That's G.
Toronto Raptor Andrea Bargnani's pre-game ritual. He stretches, he warms up, and then he has his pre-game meal. What meal is it tonight? Penne pasta consisting of only the finest Italian ingredients. Bringing Italy to your home. Buon Italia. Look for these authentic Italian products at your local grocery store.
Before, Noel Coward. After, Noel Coward. Noel Coward changes people. Visit the Shaw Festival and see tonight at 8:30 Noel Coward's glittering collection of 10 one-act plays.
And back here we have a 4-point 76ers lead at the half, 49-45. Let's run down the scoring. We'll take a look at the Cleveland Cavaliers first. Their fine rookie, Ron Anderson, who pressed into starting duty tonight, led the team with 12 points. For the 76ers, Moses Malone dominated with 14 points and 10 rebounds. Action underway. Let's go to Andy Musser.
Okay, and here's a shot by Free, Jim, and World B. Free, who in the first half tonight was 0 for 2, gets one away and scores. 49-47 Philadelphia. Julius Erving 1 for 7 in the first half tonight. Here's Doc looking inside and finds Cheeks, who is off balance, but goes to Tony, drives around Bagley, gets it up a little bit off target. Sixers recovered to shoot 49% in the first half. Here goes Free. Held scoreless for 24 minutes. He comes back and gets 2 in a hurry, and the Cavaliers have tied the game.
Got a paper that flew out on the court. Eddie Middleton scooping it up. When was the last time World B. Free ever went a whole half without scoring? You know, he didn't shoot the ball that much. He took only 4 shots in that first half. Very uncharacteristic.
Well, he didn't even play that much. He was out there for only half the time, 12 minutes, which in itself is unusual. The Cavaliers, as a team, shot 44% in the first half. Malone in position, but he's short with it. And it was rebounded by Ron Anderson, who had a great first half. Stolen back by Cheeks, and he scores. Cheeks with the steal and the basket, and the 76ers lead 51-49. Malone had a great first quarter tonight, hardly played in the second quarter, and Moses led all players with 10 rebounds in the first half. Long range followed up by Turpin, won't go. Here's Cook. He puts it in and muscles it in. Cook, who had only 2 for 5 shooting in the first half, ties the game at 51. A gutty performance by the Cavaliers, who are outmanned tonight. Cheeks no good. Tipped in by Moses. 16 for Malone. And the Sixers lead 53-51. Here's Bagley spinning and getting to the top of the circle. Finds Free. Winds down the lane. Running shot no good. Turpin for the rebound. Turpin good, and he's fouled. He was fouled by Ivoroni. I beg your pardon, they've called Cheeks. Called Cheeks.
Watch Turpin. He had a good first half. He played 19 minutes. He got 7 rebounds. He hit a couple of jump shots. He finished the half with 6 points. He adds a couple here with a chance for a 3-point play. He looks like a very confident player for a guy playing in his first regular season NBA game.
That last foul was indeed on Ivoroni after all. Mark picks up his second. 54-53, the Cavaliers lead. Doc working in tight. He's fouled. Julius had a tough first half tonight. In 15 minutes, shot 1 for 7. Was not sent to the free throw line and had only 1 rebound. Anderson draws the foul, his second. So Julius makes his first stop at the free throw line tonight. Doc's always been a good one, 78% for his career and 80% this preseason. Tie game at 54. The 76ers did not play Clint Richardson in the first half tonight. Sam Williams also did not see action. Roy Hinson and Jeff Houston did not play for Cleveland. Sixers lead by 1. First time we've seen a little backcourt pressure tonight. Cook. A little strong with it. Ivoroni fights for the rebound. It bounces away, comes back to Cook. Free, lets it fly. Cook loses the rebound here to Tony. Andrew fires up front to Ivoroni, a pass that was nearly too hot to handle. Irving. 57-54 the Sixers. Bagley is directing the Cleveland attack right now. Cook. Carried out of bounds by the Cavaliers, and they have committed their 10th turnover.
Carried with some help in there. Mark Ivoroni got away with a shove. Here's the dock.
And he was fouled by Cook. Great pass to Julius ahead of the pass.
Julius is kind of playing in cruise-o-matic tonight. He hasn't really shown us the A1 material up and down the floor. He's just kind of drifting around, waiting to take advantage of whatever pops up.
I don't think Julius is in the greatest shape yet. You know, he came to camp not having done much during the summer. Actually used training camp this year to get in shape rather than get in basketball shape. It's a long, long season. Make no mistake about that. 82 games.
I think if the truth were known, Julius was a tired man came playoff time last year after the season he had and how much he had to perform last year, what with all the injuries around him.
That's true, and he wound up with an injury himself when he had that deep groin pull at the end of last year, which is why he took it easy this summer physically. Shot outside will not fall for Ron Anderson. Ivoroni drags it down. Cheeks. Maurice putting together a good one tonight. 15 points for Cheeks. And the Sixers lead by 6, and George Karl talks a timeout. 8:19 left to go in the third quarter, and Philadelphia 60, Cleveland 54.
You work hard. You haven't taken chances. You've done everything right. And still you're feeling the pinch. Not sure what to do? Stick to the fundamentals. Grow your savings. With ING Direct, every dollar you save, whatever the amount, will grow with high interest and never shrink with fees and service charges. Your money will be safe, but working hard, just like you. Call Save Your Money.
Man, you were in the zone today. You had a game like Chris Bosh.
Can you imagine playing a game with Bosh?
Check this out. Maybe we can.
Team CB4 with seconds left for the championship.
It all comes down to one last shot.
Juicy Fruit is giving you and 3 friends a chance to shoot hoops with Raptors All-Star Chris Bosh in Toronto. Enter at jf4on4.ca.
Who's got next game?
Doesn't matter if you're on the asphalt, on the regular course, in the sun, or in the shade. I mean, you're going to compete your hardest. It could be 9-9 for half an hour, and you'll be spending, you know, the rest of the time trying to get 1 point. You got to have somebody fast, somebody that can pass and shoot, and then you got to have, like, a little finesse guy. I've got my team. You got yours?
NBA 3-on-3, presented by Rogers. Brought to you by Speed Stick.
8:19 to go here in the quarter number 3. The Sixers on top by 6, 60-54. Billy Cunningham going for win number 397 tonight. He could get number 400 on Prism next Friday night if they win them all, right? That's correct. Against the guy, Dick Motta, how many's he had? About almost 700, I think. That's incredible. The Sixers play in Atlanta tomorrow, in New Jersey on Tuesday, and then back home next Friday night against a very good basketball team, the Dallas Mavericks.
putting together quite a cast in Dallas. Here's Bagley, had a fine first half. Bagley led all performers with 6 assists. He throws this one away. Turnover number 10 on the Cavaliers. Sixers have turned it over just 5 times. Stolen from Julius by Bagley, then he bangs into Moses, but somehow maintains possession. And Bagley's shot is way off target. A follow-up shot will not go, and we've got a foul. Ivoroni draws a personal, his third. So that's going to send Ron Anderson to the free throw line. Anderson, a guy who did not play high school basketball. He was the MVP of the 1983 NIT tournament in New York. His team, Fresno State, defeated DePaul that year.
Yeah, he was somewhat of a playground legend in Chicago and discovered by college recruiters there rather than in the high school gymnasium.
You know, another guy who was in that same mold was Mickey Johnson. Remember Mickey in the NBA? He was a Chicago high school playground product who never played high school basketball either. Malone inside, no. Followed up by Ivoroni, yes. Ivoroni for his first field goal of the season, 62-55. Bagley nearly lost it to Tony. Turpin, a quick turnaround. Rebounded by Doc. Sixers getting it up in a hurry. Tony goes around, tries the reverse. Malone recovers. Ivoroni for the second time in a row. Mike Ivoroni fights his way inside.
Well, twice in a row now, he's just out-battled Mel Turpin for the ball. I'm wondering if Turpin's not getting a little tired. He's moving rather slowly up and down the floor right now.
You couldn't blame him. He's had a lot of playing time for this his first night. Julius Irving gets called on a personal foul. Third team foul on the Sixers.
You know, he did come under some criticism this summer when he declined an Olympic tryout invitation, saying that he was not in shape to perform.
Free from the corner. He puts it in. 6 points by Free, all in the quarter. And the Sixers lead at 64-57. We're about halfway through the third quarter from the Spectrum. Sixers back here next Friday night against Mark Aguirre in Dallas. Doesn't count. 3-second violation against Moses. Bagley battling Tony. Gets the screen from Cook, goes on in, takes advantage of it for the shot. Boy, how many bounces did that baby take, huh? 10 points in the scoring column for Bagley. Sixer advantage cut to 5. A finger roll for Doc. He was slow getting it going tonight, but he's coming now.
Well, there was a funny one. I'm laughing because Ron Anderson had no idea where that ball was going to be shot from.
How are you going to know when Doc sometimes doesn't know? Kind of pushing foul on Cheeks. Number 2 on Mo. Charles Barkley is going to come back in for the 76ers. Barkley limping a little bit now. You know, he's had a bad ankle. It did not appear to bother him that much in the first half, but he noticeably limped as he came on the court. Ivoroni gets a good hand as he leaves. He did a fine job. Tony ahead of the pack. Burst and speed. Follow no good. Here comes Malone. Yeah. 18 for Moses. 9-point lead. Anderson flips inside to Turpin, who is too strong. Rebounded by Tony. Cheeks, reverse.
Look at Barkley. Great rebound by Barkley.
Boy, I'll say, and he had a heavy collision that time with Cook.
Jeff Cook's looking around. He's trying to get the number on that one. Watch Jeff Cook. I don't know if we're going to see him disappear here as the ball goes up in the air. See ya. Boom. Boom.
Barkley is so big, and a love tap for him make you feel it. 5 fouls now on Cook. And Barkley to shoot his first free throws.
He would have probably been better off taking another day and not playing tonight, but he was so determined to be ready.
Here's Phil Hubbard back in the game, Barnes.
Charles Barkley has his problems defensively, and he's going to commit some fouls, but the Sixers love him because he's so coachable and he has such raw talent that you know he can be taught and he can improve his deficiencies. He's going to be an exciting player.
70-59 as a result of his 2 free throws. Hubbard goes on in, scores on the run. Hubbard's first field goal of the quarter. He has 8 points. Cavaliers within 9. We've got 5 minutes left to play here in the second quarter, or excuse me, the third quarter. Heavy traffic for Moses, and he nearly scored. 2 Cavaliers went rolling anyway, and one of them will be called on a foul. Hubbard on the personal foul. Johnny Davis is into the Cavalier lineup now, replacing World B3. And Bobby Jones on for the 76ers. Julius Erving gets a rest.
Now, if this game should continue this way with the more physical patterns developing, the Cavaliers are really going to hurt themselves. They just can't go muscle to muscle with the Sixers. Plus, they're in foul trouble, and they can't get themselves into this kind of game.
2 of them for Moses. He becomes the first player on the floor to get the 20-point mark tonight. Stolen by Cheeks, and the Sixers get it right back. Steal by Cheeks. Tony with the shot, good. And the Sixers lead it 74-61, equaling their widest margin. And George Karl is forced into calling his second timeout of the quarter. 4:29 left in the third quarter. Philly by 13.
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
cheap. It's gifted. Genuine. Golden. It's the GOAT. Ha, the greatest of all time. What's cheap? It is the heart, hustle, and soul of the game. That's cheap.
Moses Malone, Charles Barkley, and Bobby Jones representing the front court, and then Speed in the back court with Andrew Toney and Mo Cheeks.
Jones and Barkley in the forecourt now. Moses Malone at center. Cheeks and Toney at guard for Philadelphia. Sixers on defense as the Cavs put it in. Davis and Bagley are their guards. Ben Poquette is back in the game. He wears number 50. Here's Bagley. No good. Rebounded by Bobby Jones, and a whistle sounds. Ed Middleton has the foul. Hubbard draws number 4. Quarter, the Sixers doing some hot shooting. 9 out of 12 from the field for the Sixers here in this period.
Hubbard and Poquette with 4 fouls and Jeff Cook with 5, so they're starting to pile them up.
And a rare miss at the foul line by Bobby Jones, who won't do that all that often. Bobby is 77% lifetimer. That's his first free throw this year. And the Sixers take their widest edge of the ball game, 75-61. Bagley nearly lost it. Cheeks has plied his trade well tonight. It's been a fine game for Mo. Poquette dishing off. Anderson fires and scores. Anderson has been an impressive rookie in this ball game. 15 points for him. Sixers up 75-63. The Cavaliers, losers of 20 straight in this building. Moses misses the spot. Johnny Davis didn't look like he was expecting that pass. And he was tied up by Cheeks, who fouled him. Number 3 on Mo. Sixers joined the Cavs in the penalty with 3:38 left in the quarter.
Turpin for Bagley. How do you like that?
That's a strange one.
I guess Anderson now, that's the case. He'll go into the backcourt along with Johnny Davis.
Davis adds a pair, 75-65, Philadelphia. Barkley across the lane, traveling. Only the 8th turnover of the night against the 76ers. They protected the basketball very well. 3.5 to go here in this third quarter, and the Sixers up by 10. Cheeks playing Davis. Davis held it a long time before taking that shot. Rebounded by Malone. Bobby Jones all the way. Short with it. And a loose ball foul on the rebound goes against the 76ers. Foul is on Barkley. When Barkley's out there, some bodies are going to fly.
76ers wasted a 3-on-1 opportunity there. Bobby Jones, you'll rarely see him make a bad decision on a fast break, but that time he might have been better off had he got the ball to the lead man. He had Mo Cheeks out in front of him.
Joe Hubbard out of Michigan at the free throw line. Hubbard is 6'8". Hubbard one time led the Detroit Pistons in scoring and rebounding. That was back in the 80-81 season. So now it's 75-66 Philadelphia with 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Both these clubs right back in action tomorrow night. The Sixers will be in Atlanta.
It's an excellent zone defense being played by the Cavaliers right now.
And they are getting away with it. Here's Tony scoring. 11 points for Andrew. No good by Hubbard, rebounded by Barkley. Sixers trying to get that fast break going. Moses Malone follows, hits the wrong spot. Rebounded by Poquette. Sixers shooting percentage would be a whole lot higher if they'd hit some of those close-in shots they've had tonight. Hubbard off target. Barkley grabs another one. And here's another fast break try. Fishing off to Tony. Yeah. Hubbard to Tony.
You know, Andy, I have to see this to believe it, but some people have told me that if you lined the 76ers up and made them all run one end of the court to the other, Barkley would win. He'd beat Tony, he'd beat Cheeks.
That is hard to believe. Ben Poquette scores. He's so bulky, you just can't believe he's that fast, but then again, you can't believe he can jump like he does either. Cheeks lobs it into Moses. A little off target by Moses, rebounded by Poquette. 1.5 left in this third quarter. With the exception of a lapse near the end of the second quarter as Hubbard scores, the Sixers have played a good ball game. And Billy Cunningham calls the time. 1:20 remaining third quarter, and the Sixers lead it by 9 points.
I'm Bruno. Bruno is coming. I love your hat. It's great. Bruno is uber famous. I'm a private man. Bruno is amazing.
Bruno, Jesus wants to come into your heart. Are you ready to make that change?
Are you hitting on me?
Andrea Bargnani's pre-game ritual. He stretches, he warms up, and then he has his pre-game meal. What meal is it tonight? Penne pasta consisting of only the finest Italian ingredients. Bringing Italy to your home. Buon Italia. Look for these authentic Italian products at your local grocery store.
Well, a chance now for Billy Cunningham to regroup a little bit. The game had become a little helter-skelter. His team will get a much-needed rest, I'm sure. But I like an awful lot of what I see from Charles Barkley at this point. He's so full of enthusiasm. You got to like that about him. And he really does run up and down the court. He loves that fast-paced racehorse style of basketball, and he'll certainly fit in with the 76ers as we go the other end now and take a look at George Karl. It's the 15th year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Doesn't seem like they've been around that long, and they've really gone through some coaches. Bill Musselman, remember him, and Tom Nasalty, of course.
About a fellow named Charles Daly.
Ever so briefly, our good pal Chuck. Chuck's got some players this year out there in Detroit. Added Dan Roundfield to complement that front court with Kelly Tripucka and Bill Lambier. He'll get some rebounds and play a little better defense this year.
Back on now, adding Sedale Freed to their lineup right now to work with Tony on the back line. Barkley and Bobby Jones continue it forward. Moses Malone at center.
How can we forget the first coach of the Cavaliers, that Bill Fitch?
He was really cracking some jokes back then because he had to. Robert Smith is back in the Cleveland lineup. He wears number 10. He's serving as a guard right now to work with Johnny Davis, who guards Tony on this play. Just over a minute left, third quarter. Lob it into Barkley. Barkley is fouled, and that's dangerous right there to get in his way. And look who did it. 5'11" Robert Smith. The tiniest player on the court has fouled the bulkiest player. So Barkley gets free throws, and he's 2 for 2 on the line in his first NBA game. Barkley's 6'6". He's still listed as 263 pounds. People tell me he's a little lighter than that right now. Barkley had a year's college eligibility remaining, decided to give it up and play NBA ball. 80-70, Philadelphia. Coquette looks inside. Turpin covered. Now he's in position, but Moses was right there with him, so Smith shoots from the outside, no good. And Moses nearly let that one get away. He didn't let many of them get away. Tony with a head fake, foul from behind by Smith, who picks, by Johnny Davis. Davis on the personal.
We've got speed against speed right here, and coming across to help out and doing the wise thing is Phil Hubbard, but the foul called. Every time Andrew Toney has the ball, you really have the entire defensive team looking his way because they know somebody's going to have to eventually help out on that man.
Toney only 1 for 2 at the line tonight. Andrew has not had an explosive ball game, but He's been steady tonight, and the Sixers have not needed a whole lot of points from him so far. Philadelphia by 12. Largest lead was 14. Cavaliers actually took a 1-point lead here in the second half, but basically the Sixers have maintained the lead of one size or another. Davis
by Andrew.
Really. And Tony moves it in. Davis guarding him. Andrew puts a little head fake on him and gets the shot at the baseline. Rebounded by Hubbard. Lob pass out to Smith. 12 seconds left in the quarter. Timer is turned off. All of it belongs to Cleveland. 4-3. Stolen by Freet. He won't get a shot away. Well, he does get it away, but just as the period comes to a conclusion. So at the end of three quarters tonight, the 76ers lead the Cavaliers 82-70.
Pride, attitude, style. It's all in the jersey. You can wear what the pros wear. Take a stance. Visit Center Sports and customize your Raptors jersey. Best team selection. Official team merchandise. Newest Raptors gear. Center Sports, your only destination for all your authentic official Raptors merchandise. Located at Air Canada Center, Gate 1.
Tournament poker is about patience, stamina, and mental focus. Until eventually, your head's up, and there's just one more opponent left to beat. Ready for tournament poker at the world's largest poker site, PokerStars.net.
I just want to check something.
Remember, these people always want to give you advice. My advice to you is don't take advice from anybody.
Sir, if I could give you a little advice, I found a way to save you $6 a month.
Don't you try to give me any advice.
That's the advice.
Helpful advice from TD Canada Trust. It's how we're making banking more comfortable.
Cleveland Cavaliers, as you see, their work cut out for them here with 12 minutes of basketball remaining. Their bench depleted tonight by injuries to forwards Lonnie Shelton and Roy Hinson. Surprisingly, though, offensively anyway, the Cleveland front court has done a pretty good job. They've, in fact, outscored Philadelphia's front court 45-44. And a lot of that is owed to rookie Ron Anderson, who's having a fine first game in the NBA.
Here we go to start the final 12 minutes of action with the Sixers up by a dozen points. Barkley gets the inbound pass, and the Sixers continue with the lineup that finished out the third period. Sixers should be fresh. They've had a chance to rest everybody tonight. Moses got a big rest in the second quarter. Alley-oop to Irving.
And that was Charles Barkley with the assist.
And he did it perfectly. Looked like they've been playing together for years. Here's Robert Smith bringing it into the Cavalier forecourt. The Cavaliers in orange uniforms this year. They used to wear a hideous yellow. Turpin picks up his 11th point. 84-72.
That was burgundy and gold, Andy. They were proud of those.
I know. Well, they were so proud of it, they changed. Sixers have 5 more meetings with these Cavaliers, including a very unusual Monday afternoon game in Cleveland. How about that, Jim? Must be some kind
Washington's birthday or something?
I guess it is. It's in February, you're right. And Blaine Reichout spots a foul here on Sedale Freet. Tonight, Boston 64, Detroit 63. That is at the Silverdome. Celtics don't play at home until Wednesday night of next week. Ben Poquette lobs it into the middle. Turpin's had a lot of playing time tonight, probably more than he should have in his first NBA game. No good. Follow-up by Hubbard is attempted, but a loose ball foul has been called here on Julius. Third foul on Doc.
Turpin, we've noticed so far, seems to prefer to face the basket offensively. We haven't seen him get the ball very often where he wants to take the ball with his back to the basket and make a move toward it.
Poquette puts a move on Barkley. Charles tries to stay with him, and we've got an offensive foul. No basket.
Nothing wrong with that. Jack Sikma's had a pretty good career, always needing to face the basket.
Sixers ahead 84-72. The early pace of the NBA schedule is not as frantic as it gets later on. Games are spaced out a little bit better. Here's Moses Malone, who's had a big ball game, and 22 points for Moses. It isn't until Thanksgiving time that the 76ers get jammed up. Right at Thanksgiving, they have 4 games in 5 nights. Poquette. 6 points for Gentle Ben, 86-74. Sixers have trailed infrequently in the game. They were down once by 6 points, but that was early in the first quarter, and they weren't on a 6-point run at that time to tie it up. In the middle of Cheeks, knocked around. Got to be a foul on this one. Cheeks is charged with an offensive foul. Coming back for the Cavaliers now, John Bagley, number 5. Chicago Bulls 34, Washington Bullets 19 at the end of a quarter. Well, we knew they were going to be good.
They say Michael Jordan is really something. He's always played under wraps at North Carolina, and of course with Bobby Knight, the Olympic team.
Julius dishing off, the ball batted around. Sixers have lost it. Went out of bounds off 3.
Caldwell Jones says he's only seen one other player with those kind of skills, and you know who Caldwell's talking about.
Is he in the building?
Yeah. Caldwell, of course, now a member of those Bulls.
As is Wes Matthews. He was assigned tonight.
There's a takedown by Bagley. That's 2.5 points if they're wrestling. Now you can't get a half a point in wrestling.
Eddie Middleton saw the call. Blaine Reichelt apparently didn't. Clement Johnson enters the 76er lineup right here. And Moses gets another rest. Moses to the bench with 17 rebounds. The Sixers shot 41% in the third quarter, 37% for Cleveland. Here's Barkley posted up. 88-74 as the Sixers equal their widest margin. And Barkley in his rookie effort has come on with 7 points, his initial rookie effort. A turnaround by Johnny Davis is no good. Put a foul on Cheeks. Number 5 on Mo. That'll get Leon Wood off the bench. Wood will be in here replacing Cheeks. Good ball game for Mo, 15 points. Davis makes a pair of free throws. 88-76, the 76ers. Wood and Barkley, they played together earlier tonight. Basically, it was in the second quarter. Julius on a bank shot, no good. Barkley, offensive rebound. He's banged by Turpin as the 2 rookies collide. Turpin on the foul.
That was really interesting. Phil Hubbard was trying to screen Barkley away from the offensive boards, and Barkley just shoved him right out of bounds. Hubbard went into the press row, and Barkley was left with the easy rebound.
Hawks 85, Nets 80 at the end of 3 quarters tonight. Those are the next 2 opponents for Philadelphia. They'll play the Hawks tomorrow and the Nets Tuesday. out of 6. 90-76 Philadelphia. Anderson to Bagley. Hubbard missed the shot. Sixers with the rebound. The Sixers have owned the boards tonight. Leon Wood. Second field goal for Leon. 92-76. Widest edge of the night. And a timeout, Cleveland. 8:08 remaining as the Cavaliers fall down here by 16 points.
Slow down! Slow down! What's the hurry? You're driving like a maniac. Are you listening? Are you listening? I can't stand it when you ignore me. This wind is mussing up my hair. Oh, don't give me that look. Watch the road. Great. Now look what you've done. I told you not to drive so...
For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
You work hard. You haven't taken chances. You've done everything right. And still you're feeling the pinch. Not sure what to do? Stick to the fundamentals. Grow your savings. With ING Direct, every dollar you save, whatever the amount, will grow with high interest and never shrink with fees and service charges. Your money will be safe, but working hard, just like you. Call. Save your money.
Hi.
Hi.
Just do a red spot check. Have you any alcohol to drink tonight?
Just a few.
Just a few. You just pull over here, right behind this cruiser here.
Everyone knows not to drive drunk. But what if you just had a few? Ontario has had roadside suspensions for drivers in the Warren Range for years. Now in Ontario, drivers with a blood alcohol concentration from 0.05 to 0.08 lose their license immediately for 3 to 30 days. Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
California State at Fullerton, California. They had an excellent basketball program the last couple of seasons, made a run into the NCAA tournament. And that's Charles Barkley out of Auburn. Turpin had a number of battles against one another. Kentucky versus Auburn over the last 3 seasons.
Cavaliers ball. We've got 8 minutes left in the ball game. 76ers by their widest edge right now. Sixers have not played Clint Richardson in this ball game, nor has Sam Williams seen any playing time. Bagley works into the foul line. Stolen by Irving. Watch Doc here. Just getting a piece of it was Johnny Davis.
Now, Billy Cunningham is screaming. He wants that intentional foul that we talked about earlier on. You know, the breakaway foul, which is an automatic 2 shots plus possession of the ball. He claims that, well, prior to this contact, he claims that Doc was impeding around midcourt.
What he got instead was the 20-second timeout. And Billy is sending Doc over to talk to the official. You know, technically a coach cannot talk to an official about a rule call. He has to send the captain over. And Billy practically pushed Doc over there. Well, as we said earlier, there were apparently quite a few opportunities for that foul to be called in preseason games, and it wasn't called at all, at least in 76ers preseason games.
I guess it's one of those where you have to draw a little blood.
Practically. So Doc to the free throw line. Julius with a slow start tonight, only 2 points in the first half, and 2 out of 4 on the line. Attendance here at the Spectrum tonight, 11,892. A whistle now. We may have a lane violation here. Well, I saw him signal jump ball. He did. Ball went out of bounds, and I guess they didn't see who touched it. Turpin back in for Cleveland now. Hubbard to the bench. 7:50 left in the ball game. Cook and Clem Johnson jumping, and the Sixers win. Barkley getting the ball. Leon Wood guarded by Bagley, who is smaller. Batted away by Turpin, but it comes back to 3. 5 on the timer.
I thought that was awfully close to 3 points, but they're not going to give it to him.
Johnny Davis right down the lane, and he scores. 13 points by Davis, 95-78. Julius on a windmill. Couldn't quite get the right spot. And Davis back up front. Sixers leading here by 17, and a near steal. It is a steal. Freed picks it up. Pete's knock, but gives him too much to work with. Anderson has his shot blocked. Here's Wood. He's open. Not on target, though. Barkley gets the rebound, but a loose ball foul on Barkley. Charles draws personal foul number 4. Bobby Jones replaces Julius Erving. Look at that rebounding edge. Sixers by 10 in the rebounding column. 6:45 left in the ball game. Cook, he's been in foul trouble all night. Turpin posted up, shoots over top Clem Johnson and gets it. 13 for Turpin in his pro debut. Barkley spins inside and jams one. That's the second time he's done that.
He absolutely shocks you with his quickness. Watch this. Cook has no idea what to do. Next thing you know, he's out of here.
And 11 points for Barkley. 97-80 Philadelphia. Anderson draws his 17th point. He's been the highest scoring rookie here tonight. Timeout Philadelphia. 5:55 left in the ball game, and the Sixers have a 15-point advantage.
Can't help but be excited about the play of Charles Barkley. He has 4 personal fouls, but those have been hustle fouls due to his inexperience going for offensive rebounds. But you certainly have to like his ability to get up and down the court, and also his ability to play in the pivot. Despite his lack of height at 6'8", it's very hard to block a shot against Charles Barkley. Number 1, he's got that bulk that keeps you away, and number 2, he's so flexible at being able to adjust his shot while in midair that he really has that natural ability to always get the shot off. Now, some more of the rule changes that we talked about. There's nothing really earth-shattering this year. Here's one, though, that may add significant time to the length of a game, that when baskets are scored in the last minute of but the fourth quarter, the clock stops, and then in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, it stops. An extra timeout in overtime. Each team now with 3. And I hope we don't see the last one very often. Players leaving the bench for fights, picking up a $500 fine. Your score. 5 minutes, 55 seconds left to go here. Opening night at the Spectrum.
Well, we haven't seen that much of World B. Free tonight. He's played sparingly for Cleveland. You know, when the 76ers traded Free, they got San Diego's first-round draft choice, and that became Charles Barkley. Time back in, and Barkley gets the inbound, goes with a finger roll, can't get it. Turpin winds up with it. Nice try by Barkley, but it wouldn't go down. Anderson feeds inside, and Cook bangs one home. First score of the quarter by Cook. He has 8 points tonight. 97-84. The Cavaliers debuting under George Karl tonight. Sedale 3 short. Sixers have not had an outstanding shooting percentage tonight. They've missed a lot of layups. And Cook managed to keep it in play, and the Sixers lose it. Nice hustling try by Wood, but all he did was manage to save it for Cleveland.
Whoops. That was Johnny Davis voicing a little displeasure there with the contact made.
I thought that sounded like you. You didn't say that? 97-86, Philadelphia. Stolen inside by Anderson. He's been used as a starter tonight, and he's probably been the Cavaliers' most impressive player. Cook. 10 points for Cook. 97-88 as the Cavaliers were down by 18 points and have it down to less than 10. That's not too bad. 4.5 to go, and timeout called by Philadelphia. 97-88, 76ers, and I don't think Billy Cunningham's too pleased with the last couple of minutes.
This portion of Raptors NBA TV is brought to you by Canon.
Toronto Raptor Andrea Bargnani's pre-game ritual. He stretches, he warms up, and then he has his pre-game meal. What meal is it tonight? Penne pasta consisting of only the finest Italian ingredients. Bringing Italy to your home. Buon Italia. Look for these authentic Italian products at your local grocery store.
Man, you were in the zone today. You had a game like Chris Bosh.
Can you imagine playing a game with Bosh?
Check this out. Maybe we can.
Team CB4 with seconds left for the championship.
It all comes down to one last shot.
Juicy Fruit is giving you and 3 friends a chance to shoot hoops with Raptors All-Star Chris Bosh in Toronto. Enter at checkout4on4.ca.
Who's got next game?
Struggles, throws it out. Telfair. Knocked away. 4 minutes, 23 seconds remaining here. The Sixers leading it by 9. Hey, there's our boss man. Leaning back in the corner there, the general manager and vice president of Prism. That's Mr. Don Heller. To get the boss a little exposure, Andy. I don't think.
I think we ought to get him a little better lighting, don't you? Got to get a spotlight for Don. Well, 4:23 left to go. The Cavaliers have mounted a little bit of a run here, and the Sixers, I'm sure, would like to post some more points right here. They were up by 18 not that long ago, but it has faded in a hurry. Irving, soft jump shot, wrong spot. Bobby Jones loses the rebound, and we've got a loose ball foul, and it's going to go against Bobby. Second foul on Jones. Sixers into the penalty now with 4:09 to go, so the free throws will be shot. And the Cavaliers have not given up. So Bagley to the free throw line. Bagley from Boston College, 78%, his career mark at the foul line. Has not scored here in the fourth quarter. If you're a coach and your team has mounted a comeback like this, you hate to see a guy miss a free throw at a time like that. 97-89 Sixers. And a whistle as we have some contact inside. This foul will be on Ron Anderson. Second foul on Anderson. Or I believe they've called it his third foul. Third on Anderson. Moses is fouled.
Well, here's one of the few times tonight that Mel Turpin's been matched against Moses Malone. He got too close. He just leaned all over Moses, and Moses, you just see, goes up for the shot. And Turpin without the ability to get out of the way that time.
And Moses has had a great night at the foul line. He has 23 points in the game, and on the line he's 9 for 11. And one, and it's 99-89. Philadelphia, less than 4 to play. Bagley up in a hurry. Cavaliers, look at that whoop-de-doo. Rebounded by Cook. Anderson. On the run, Anderson scores. He's had a great ball game. 19 points for the rookie from Fresno State, and he was a second-round draft choice. Tony, a twist and a turn, trying to get free of Davis, and does. What a shot by Tony. His first basket of the fourth quarter, 101-91.
The Cavaliers playing out of sync for them. They're really scrapping around and out of kilter and throwing it up. They've upped their own tempo quite a bit, and it's not the natural style that they've played this game nearly all but the last 5 minutes or so.
That foul was on Moses, only the second he has committed. 2 team fouls. 2 fouls on Moses, I should say. Sixers in the penalty. And Anderson, 20-point game in his first NBA contest. Maurice Cheeks back on the floor for the Sixers. Wood out. Billy Cunningham going to the steadier hand for the final 3 minutes of this game. 101-93. The other thing about getting Cheeks back in there is he'll get you a steal or two, and that could be the difference in a game like this. Bobby Jones, good. Bobby hits from the corner. 5 points for Jones, 103-93. He's another guy that seems to get his points at the key times. There's a 3-point try by Davis, no good. Rebounded by Moses. A lot of times when you take those 3-pointers and don't make them, your team's not in good rebounding position. 2.5 left, opening night. Cheeks, and it's good. There was offensive interference, not offensive, there was defensive interference, but the basket goes to Cheeks. 105-93, and it would seem safe now with 2:18 to play. Here's Cook. Nothing around, no good. The Cavaliers were in foul trouble all night. It's remarkable that a guy like Cook is still able to play. 19 points for Tony. He's gotten them in a hurry. Tony had only 7 points at halftime tonight. We've reached the 2-minute mark, and the Sixers have a 107-93 lead. And a foul here on Julius.
Andy, I think I'm a George Karl fan. So many coaches just love to use up all their timeouts now and prolong the game when they really don't have much of an opportunity to get back into it. Tom Naselke, I guarantee you, would have about 3 of them called already in the last minute and a half.
I've always wondered about that, too. I mean, I realize you don't give up if there's a chance you're going to win, but when you take them in a useless situation, it seems like it's really annoying to your own team, I would think. Ben Poquette back in for Cleveland. Cook has made them both. He has a dozen points, 107-95. And a minute 40 left to play in our ball game. Haven't seen a whole lot of defensive pressure tonight. Bobby Jones saves it somehow. Find the open man all right, and Tony a little bit short on the shot. Robert Smith beats it up front. Anderson goes hard, no basket. We've got a foul, though. Anderson was really driving when Julius fouled him. Number 5 on Doc.
Here we go again. Doc trying for the block here, but a good double clutch pump move there by Anderson, who really has the poise, remarkable poise. Here's a guy you didn't hear too much about in college. He played at Fresno State. They were NIT champs in '83. And they were an NCAA team last year, but he was not a spectacular college player, just a very steady one. And he averaged about 17 points a game for Fresno. They were, as I recall, more like a ball control team, did not score a lot of points.
And here he comes with 23 in his first pro game. Not bad. 107-97. Cavaliers going to the trapping defense now. Julius is short. Rebound Moses. Good. And bodies fly as Moses goes down. And so did Robert Smith. That's a mismatch. Moses is shaken up a bit. Moses still at the back end of the floor. A three-point try, no good for Smith. Gets the rebound. Moses looks like he may have hurt his back. Anderson is fouled. And Moses over being examined by Al Domenico, Philadelphia trainer, and he'll come out of the ball game. Clement Johnson will come in and finish it for the Sixers. And you hate to see Moses come up with an injury at this stage of this game.
He does have tender knees. He has sore hands and wrists from time to time from the work he does inside, the pounding that he takes. Don't forget, early on in Malone's career, he played an enormous amount of minutes, particularly in the Houston Rockets days. And he put that body through an awful lot. Moses only knows how to go at one speed, and that's full speed. And at this stage of his career, he has to kind of conserve things a little bit more than he has in years past. Seconds left to go here. The Sixers seemingly comfortably ahead, 109-97. Sixers in action again tomorrow night at Atlanta. Boy, did they have trouble with the Hawks a year ago, and particularly in the Omni in Atlanta. That was the Jinx team last year for the 76ers, and I'm sure they'd like to get right back at them and erase those memories. Into old friend Leo Routens with the Atlanta Hawks. Leo had a pretty good string of preseason games, the final two, as a matter of fact, for the Hawks. I think secured a job, at least for the moment, for Leo, and we're all happy about that. A real fine guy.
Just another one of the ex-76ers who's found work around the league. We've mentioned a couple of times tonight about how Wes Matthews signed late today with the Chicago Bulls. Anderson capping a fine initial performance in the NBA. He has led the Cavaliers. He has 24 points. There was a guy who was not supposed to be in the starting lineup, and he's been their top man. 109-99. Here's the Cavaliers putting on a pressing defense once again. And the Sixers playing four corners right now. Clement Johnson. He's short with it, rebounded by Robert Smith. Another two for Anderson. What a ball game. 27 points. Cavaliers come over the century mark, 109-101. This will be a loss for Cleveland, but they won't feel too bad about this, especially playing without Lonnie Shelton, Paul Thompson. Cheeks, a clear path, and Mo has a 19-point game. 5 seconds left. No shot. Coquette shot too late to beat the buzzer, and the Sixers have won on opening night by 10 points. The final score, Philadelphia 111. The Cleveland Cavaliers